Hey guys, so this is a quick video just about something I was watching on the TV earlier today on Channel 4. I was watching Tom Carriage on Channel 4 this morning. I don't know if I can say the name on this, so I'm going to refrain from doing that. But I was talking about weight loss. Now, if you've seen or heard of Tom Carriage, he actually has gone through a tremendous weight loss. And is in a brilliant place to be able to talk about it more than most people, to be perfectly honest. So I'll take my hat off to the guy. He's achieved a lot in what his goals were. Fair play. One of the things he mentioned on the show, and I thought I would just do a wee bit on it, as it is quite a popular TV show, and it was just to give a little bit more information about it. Tom mentioned that there are three main diets. There's low fat, low carb and calories. Now, Tom pointed out that he can't do the low fat because he works in a kitchen and he has to, it's part and parcel of his job. Tasting food is kind of partial. He has to do it, and obviously not adding fat to a food, it adds an awful lot of flavour, just a small amount, so taking that out isn't really going to happen. Counting calories, it didn't work for him because it involves an awful lot of numbers, and as a result it was too difficult and he didn't want to do it. And the third one was carbs, and he said if I have steak and chips, I can quite happily have the steak and just remove the chips, and that worked. It obviously did work for him and he's got great results on it. I've actually done low carb diet myself, and I have to say I got tremendous results on it. What I also got on it though was very low energy levels, pretty much addicted to be around some of the time, and my performance in the gym tanked. I actually have yet to get back up now for various reasons. It's not just because of carbs and going low carb, but I've yet to get back up in my performance in the gym to where it was prior to going low carb. And at the time I just wouldn't admit to it that it was because I was dieting and I'd removed carbs from my diet, because I was seeing great results in terms of my body composition. And I just wanted to address that in a little bit more info, because Tom is right, there are different diets. There's more than just three, however, low fat and low carb and calorie count. So I want to address that because he's slightly mistaken. Low carb and low fat are both calorie controlled diets. Removing carbs or removing fats don't stop the premise of how we lose weight, which is calories in versus calories out. In order to lose weight, we need to have a calorie deficit. Simply by going low carb or low fat means that we remove a source of calories from our diet, and then in turn we create a deficit and we can lose weight. And it works for an awful lot of people. There are ways about being able to achieve a calorie deficit without having to count. Yes, counting calories is a bit of a pain in the ass. I've done it, I do it, and it can get annoying at times, especially if you're kind of going out for dinner and you can't get a good sense of what's actually on your plate. Trying to estimate what you're eating and how many calories you've eaten can be pretty damn awkward, and that can put an awful lot of people off long term because you are guesstimating, you've really got no idea. But to get into a habit of trying to diet, it is actually hugely important because it really zones in. It shows how much food that you can eat and enjoy and still lose weight, but equally how much food that you may actually be eating and why you are maybe struggling to lose weight more. And that's more of an issue when you are struggling to lose weight but you think you're not eating that much. Calorie counting really does shine a light really into the dark and show where that's going wrong for you. So yeah, you can do low carb and you can do low fat. You can do the 5-2 diet. You can do intermittent fasting. There's so much more than low carb, low fat and calorie counting. But at the end of the day, all of these low fat, low carb, 5-2 diet, intermittent fasting, all they're doing is controlling calories and pulling them down. in order to create a deficit and create weight loss for you, and to help you to get to that point where you want to be. And there's no right or wrong approach. It's what works best for everybody. But it's also important to realize that with some of these diets, like 5-2, like intermittent fasting, like carb backloading, there's another one, that there are trade-offs. And certainly from a point of view of taking on carbs and taking carbs out, if you actually have a performance that you want to deliver, if you want to train in the gym, if you want to go out on a bike, if you enjoy going hill walking, for example, taking carbs out of your diet altogether, you will see a decline in all of that. And that decline isn't just, oh, I won't be able to lift. That decline is actually something as simple as trying to walk up the stairs will really take it out of you. So it depends on how active that you are, and it's about finding what works for you but still allows you to be able to create a deficit, and it always comes back to calories. So hopefully that shines a little bit more light on it. It gives you a better idea of what you can do. And if you've got any questions, I'm sure drop a comment in the comments box. Be more than happy to answer. Thanks. Bye.